Hello, welcome to episode 16 of Korean Grammar Breakdown. This festival is rather boring. Vocabulary. E is a pre-noun meaning this. Chukje, noun, festival, nun, topic, marker again. Jiru hada, descriptive verb meaning boring. Pyeonida, special ending pattern, is on the something side. Here is on the boring side, is rather boring. And so a pre-noun comes before a noun and describes the noun. It's not a word used by itself. Here, this means this. There's 30 or 40 pre-nouns in Korean, some of which are quite rare. I'd say this is the most common of all of them, and you will see this a lot. This one here. And technically, in the linguistic world, it's probably determiner is probably the more correct word for this. And now, this special ending pattern, this n here is turning this descriptive verb into something called an adnominal, which is very similar, at least in this case, here, in this particular case, to an adjective in English. Now, pyeon is what's called a bound noun. It's a kind of noun that's used only with descriptive words before it. You can't just use pyeon alone as a noun. And ida is the copula verb, meaning be, am, are, is. Now, but this is a pattern that goes together as a unit as well. So ida, you recall I mentioned that it's almost always irregular back in the episode entitled What Time Is It? I think that was episode 3 or 4. Now here's two more examples of two more slight variations on that. The intimate style, ida turns into iya, okay? And of course the da from jiru hada is dropped, making jiru han. Now, this iya is only seen in cases of is in the intimate style, or actually the negative copula, which means not is, or I should say not be or isn't, also sees this ending. But that's it. And to change this to the polite style, iya becomes eao. Again, because this is a consonant here and here. Now, in the What Time Is It episode, we looked at when this wasn't a consonant, when it was a vowel, and it was different, right? You might want to go look at that again. Now, so let's see. Intimate style. I chukje nun jiru han pyeon iya. I chukje nun jiru han pyeon iao. Polite style. And this ending style is probably more used spoken in spoken language, although I'm not 100% sure of that. It's definitely a spoken kind of thing anyway, and it's considered kind of gentle or indirect. Now, bound noun pyeon means kind of like inclination or direction or side here. And it's used in other situations too, when you're talking about direction. But this is probably its most common use. A lot of the bound nouns have very particular usage scenarios, and kind of like the prenouns, there aren't that many of them, and especially there aren't that many common ones, and they have very specific kind of uses. And this is another example of kind of soft, what I considered soft or gentle language in Korean. You know, if you just said I chukje nun jiru hada or heyo or whatever, it's a lot more direct. This festival is boring. Now here you're saying it's kind of boring. It's on the boring side. You're being a little more polite. In Korean, you don't want to use real strong language a lot of times, especially in speaking, you know. And that's pretty much it for this one. You know, we're going to look a lot more at making these adnominals and a lot more at bound nouns and some more pronouns in the future, slowly. But this is an introduction to a couple of new things here anyway. And so if you like my channel, subscribe, and have a nice day.